Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Academic Listening and Speaking Lecture, Miss Endang Darsi, all my dearest friend PBI to be class, and all audience who watching this video presentation. Alhamdulillah, today I can take this video to fulfill my assignment in academic listening and speaking course. Then I want to say thanks to Miss Endang to give us this assignment so we can improve our skill in listening and speaking course. Okay, for today's session, I want to explain the one article from journal because this assignment about academic journal presentation. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Tianovita. I'm from PBI 2B English Department, University of Kuningan, and here I want to explain the article journal. I'm sorry because I have some trouble, so let me share my screen. Okay, and the article that I will explain today is about storytelling in teaching literacy, benefit and challenges. And my explanation will consist 5 chapters. For the first is introduction. I'm sorry. For sub chapter is about source, author identity, rational and research objective, and the second part is about literature review. The third one is about the method, and the fourth is finding, and the last one or is 5 is about the conclusion. Okay, let's start the explanation, but the first chapter is about the introduction. There are 4 sub-chapter here, and first I want to explain the first chapter. For the first is about the source. I get this journal from English Review Journal of English Education, Volume H, number 1, December 2018. English Department, University of Kuningan, and the author of the journal, she is Intan Satriani from English Education Department, IKIP Siliwangi, and the rationale of this article is about to find out benefit and challenges of implementing storytelling in teaching literacy, and the research objective is about the study focus on obtaining perception from student point of view about teaching literacy through storytelling. Then I want to explain a little part of the introduction from the article journal. In Indonesia, literacy has a become crucial position in education. It used as the one for develop education through developing culture of reading, writing, and counting. Storytelling is simple and practical because stories, which are used as the media, are easily obtained. Use of storytelling as the teaching tool has been conducted in the area of teacher education, higher education, early childhood education, and nursing education. According to the McDurry and Altario 2003, storytelling is the one activity to deliver information from one to other people and one generation to the next generation. Storytelling shows some benefit, especially as the pedagogical tool. Here's some benefit that explained by expert. For the first one is come from Wright 2008. Storytelling can motivate students. Second one is Aritawati 2011. She explained that Storytelling children help children is improve vocabulary mastery. And the last one is come from Slater and Will 2011. They are say that storytelling enhance student interesting in reading. Relating to English foreign language context, English should be a medium to develop student literacy in Indonesia. This is essential for English foreign language educator to reconceptualize the teaching of English to bring better and improvement of student literacy in Indonesia through the use of storytelling in the classroom. Basically, there are several benefits that can be gained by secondary student and teacher through storytelling teaching literacy, including reading and writing. In line with literacy, storytelling promotes expressive and receptive language development, namely written composition and reading comprehension. I'm sorry because there are several benefits. As I'm trouble. Um, Second language learners who share personal experience with storytelling are able to demonstrate linguistic growth. The text of storytelling or storytelling. The text of the story also provide the potential for comprehensible input. This input can be achieved in multi-way. For instance, individual reading. A number of group sharing group of students working on a core text and taking it in different directions according to their own imagination. In increasing student novel word comprehension, vocabulary electing question and non-electing question also can be used in storytelling activity. Okay, let's move to the second part is about the literature review. There are four experts that I will explain here. For the first come from Paul 2003. She explained about the storytelling is the one of teaching that enable Asian English foreign language student in elementary school and secondary to enjoying reading and writing. And about the grad 2000, storytelling is important to improve student listening and writing skill. And Metcalf et al. 2013, storytelling is part of literacy practice that may influence student language proficiency. Literacy practice has some important characteristics such as to develop language and brain to practice logical and critical thinking. And last expert that is Slattery and Will 2001. They are explained that through storytelling, teacher can enhance student interesting and in reading. I'm sorry. Let's move to the third part. Is about the method. Here I just little explain and then I will give a more explanation here. Researchers using qualitative descriptive with participant 6A grader from junior high school in Cipatat, Bandung, West Java. The student have a 15 minutes for individual interview to find out their perception about implementation of the storytelling. Okay, for on this study, researchers using a qualitative descriptive and adapted from Crowell 1996. This method used to examine questions that can be verbally describing how participants in a study perceive and interpret various aspects of their environment. The study undertaken in private junior high school in Cipatat, rural part of Bandung, West Java. The school is suburban school with a student enrollment drawn predominantly from disadvantaged families, which had lower motivation in continuing their school to senior high school. The participants of the study consists six age graders for junior high school. The six students were divided into three categories, namely to students with high level achievement, two from middle level achievement, and two from lower achievement. Based on their performance in previous reading lesson and diagnostic writing. This study conduct a preliminary observation to the classroom and made a consultation with the prior English teacher. Students attend individual interview which ran about 15 minutes and it was taped, but researchers informed the participant that the interview was audio tape and name was not mentioned to make keep their identity confidential. The interview attempt to find student perception about I'm sorry, but not about that in out storytelling implementation. Let's move to other part is about the findings. So what the researchers get from this study? For the first one is the using two language. For some reason, researchers using Indonesia and English in the teaching activity. Why researchers do this? Because Bahasa Indonesia using by student or teacher when found difficulties in expressing idea, explain the meaning, or discussing the main idea in reading and writing in English. Bilingualism was expected to affect positively both student intellectual and linguistic progress and allow for their greater sensitivity to linguistic meaning and more flexibility in their meaning. For the second is learning material and various media. Narrative text story for student. Its purpose to make a student aware about the content of the text. Students were firstly introduced to the description of the narrative text, which include definition of the narrative text, schematic structure, language feather of the narrative text, and example of the narrative text. And the third one is about the dramatization show the characteristic. Student enjoying the story when researchers saw character with dramatization. Student enjoying the story when researchers saw the characters with dramatization. With using this activity, students seem more motivated to know the content of the story. In the other side, researchers using dramatization to show a character expression or emotion. And fourth is developing literacy skill. Selection of the story is important to improve literacy skill. The media of telling story also been noticed. The use of visual tools are also important as the one of support storytelling activities. Sorry. Okay, let's move to the other finding. Arousing student imagination. Visual tools are able to facilitate learner understanding the meaning of the story. Students need picture, expression, and visual tool to exploring story, thus canning student imagination. Then is improving student vocabulary mastery. Applying storytelling as technique in increasing student vocabulary. Related to one student perception in this study, researchers found that one of the student as the participant explained that her vocabulary mastery was increased through storytelling. In the activity of storytelling, teacher does not only focus on the story itself, but also the specific lesson like building stories, vocabularies. And the seventh is increasing student reading awareness and interest. On this study, one of students said that make her want to learn English more and trying reading and writing in English and see interesting in learning English. And the last finding is about asking moral value of the story as an evaluation instrument. At the end, students are able to think the moral value of the story and then say it to researchers. So it can improve their skill in thinking about the what is that moral value of the story so they can we know the researchers can know that the student are understand or not about the story that explained before. Okay. Let's move to the challenges of implementing storytelling in teaching literacy. There are two challenges. For the first is about the student English proficiency. There are a lack of language proficiency. All students that in this study have a lack of language proficiency, such as vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Consequently, it makes students hard in comprehending uh, text comprehensively and expressing their opinions. So, to make it easy, the researchers um, let the student to use the bilingualism story is not story but dictionary. I'm sorry. Is using Indonesian and English dictionary, so they can search the difficult words, so and then find it there, so they are can understanding about the meaning of the word in the story. The students with better language proficiency were able to high score because they comprehend the text better and write their own text properly. These challenges should be considered by teachers in selecting teaching material to facilitate all student English proficiency text. And the last is about the length of the text, and also it's a really important things. Why it's really important? Because uh, the story should has the right language is easy to make student comprehend the text according to the one student perception on the study. She get bored on the text, get too long too long text, so it suggests to teachers to select appropriate text or the material before conducting teaching and learning process in the classroom. Okay, that's all for my student explanation. But before close, I want to read about the conclusion of this presentation. Okay, the conclusion of this presentation is using storytelling in teaching activity have some benefit for improving English skill. For the challenging teachers should be prepared for choosing the story that easy by students, so students can enjoying learning activity and improve their English skill. Okay, that's all for me. Let me stop the sharing. Okay, that's all for me. If there are questions, you can text on the comment, or we can meet again on the Friday in on Friday on the academic listening and speaking class. Okay, I'm sorry for my mistake, and if there are like of this video, I you can comment to make this video perfect. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.